First contact, Captain Elara Chen stood at attention, her crisp uniform a stark contrast to the swirling mist that enveloped the landing pad. The distant hum of the approaching shuttle sent vibrations through the ground, a tangible reminder of the momentous occasion about to unfold. As Earth's newly appointed ambassador to the Galactic Confederation, Elara knew the weight of responsibility that rested on her shoulders. Humanity's future among the stars hung in the balance. The sleek silver craft pierced through the fog, touching down with barely a whisper. Elara took a deep breath, steadying her nerves as the shuttle's door slid open with a pneumatic hiss. A tall, willowy figure emerged, its iridescent skin shimmering in the pale sunlight. This was Zixnar, her assigned liaison from the Confederation, and Elara's key to navigating the complex web of interstellar politics. "Welcome to Earth, Liaison Zixnar," Elara said, extending her hand in the traditional human greeting. "I'm Captain Elara Chen, Earth's ambassador to the Confederation." Zixnar regarded her outstretched hand with curiosity, 4 elongated fingers flexing slightly. After a moment's hesitation, the alien grasped Elara's hand, a look of surprise flitting across its features. "Greetings, Ambassador Chen," Zixnar replied, its voice a melodic trill that seemed to resonate in Elara's chest. "I am honored to serve as your guide in these momentous times." As they made their way towards the embassy complex, Elara couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Zixnar seemed distracted, its large, multifaceted eyes darting about nervously. When they entered the elevator, the alien pressed itself against the far wall, as if trying to put as much distance between them as possible. "Is everything all right, liaison?" Elara asked, concern coloring her voice. "If you're experiencing any discomfort, please let me know. We want your stay on Earth to be as pleasant as possible." Zixnar's skin rippled, taking on a deeper hue. "Forgive me, Ambassador. I am adjusting to your planet's unique atmosphere and to your presence." Elara frowned, unsure of how to interpret that last statement. As the elevator doors opened onto the embassy's main floor, she pushed her concerns aside. They had work to do. Over the next few hours, Elara and Zixnar pored over stacks of diplomatic briefs and trade agreements. The sheer volume of information was overwhelming, but Elara was grateful for her alien assistant's insights. Zixnar's knowledge of Confederation protocols was invaluable, helping Elara navigate the labyrinthine bureaucracy of interstellar politics. As the day wore on, however, Elara noticed Zixnar becoming increasingly agitated. The alien's movements grew jerky and erratic, its speech punctuated by long pauses and sudden outbursts. During one such moment, Zixnar's hand brushed against Elara's as they reached for the same datapad. The alien recoiled as if burned, a keening sound escaping its throat. "Zixnar, what's wrong?" Elara asked, genuine worry overriding diplomatic decorum. "Are you ill? Should I call for medical assistance?" The alien's skin had taken on a vibrant, pulsating glow. "No, Ambassador. I must leave. Now." Without another word, Zixnar bolted from the room, leaving a bewildered Elara in its wake. Elara spent a restless night tossing and turning, her mind racing with possibilities. Had she unknowingly offended her alien counterpart? Was there some crucial cultural misunderstanding at play? As dawn broke, she made her way to the embassy's secure communications center. If anyone could shed light on the situation, it would be Dr. Aiden Nakamura, Earth's foremost xenobiologist. The doctor's holographic image flickered to life, his usually neat appearance marred by disheveled hair and dark circles under his eyes. "Elara, I was just about to contact you. Something extraordinary has happened." Elara leaned forward, her heart racing. "What is it, Aiden? Does it have to do with Liaison Zixnar's strange behavior?" Nakamura nodded excitedly. "Indeed it does. We've been analyzing the data from your initial meeting, and well, it seems that human pheromones have an unexpected effect on Zixnar's species." "Pheromones?" Elara repeated, incredulous. "You mean Zixnar was reacting to my scent?" Not just reacting, Aiden corrected. Your pheromones appear to be triggering a cascading neurochemical response in Zixanar's physiology. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. The closest analog would be, well, a powerful aphrodisiac. Ilara felt her cheeks burn. Are you saying that I'm arousing the alien? Aiden held up his hands. It's more complex than that. The pheromone interaction seems to be enhancing Zixanar's natural empathic abilities. In essence, your presence is causing an overload of sensory input. It's no wonder the poor creature fled. Before Ilara could respond, an urgent alert flashed across her comm panel. Zixanar had returned to the embassy and was requesting an immediate meeting. Ilara's stomach churned with a mix of anticipation and dread. I have to go, Aiden, she said hurriedly. Keep working on this. We need to find a solution fast. As she made her way to the conference room, Ilara's mind raced. How could she possibly navigate this diplomatic minefield? The fate of humanity's place in the galactic community might well rest on her ability to manage this unprecedented situation. Zixanar was already waiting when Ilara entered, its tall form silhouetted against the floor-to-ceiling windows. The alien turned, and Ilara gasped. Zixanar's skin was a riot of swirling colors, pulsing with an inner light that seemed to reach out towards her. Ambassador Chen, Zixanar began, its voice strained. I must apologize for my behavior yesterday. I was unprepared for the effect your species would have on me. Ilara took a cautious step forward. It's all right, Liaison. We've discovered that there's a biological component at play here. My pheromones are triggering some kind of response in your physiology. Zixanar's colors shifted, taking on a deep, vibrant blue. You are remarkably perceptive, Ambassador. Yes, your pheromones have awakened something within me, something long dormant in my species. What do you mean? Ilara asked, fascination overriding her initial discomfort. The alien's form seemed to ripple, growing more fluid and ethereal. My people were once great empaths, able to connect deeply with other sentient beings. But over millennia, we grew distant, cold. We lost touch with that part of ourselves, until now. Ilara's scientific curiosity warred with her diplomatic training, and my pheromones somehow reactivated this ability in you. Yes, Zixanar confirmed, but it is more than that. I can sense your thoughts, your emotions. The very essence of your being calls out to me. It is overwhelming. A shiver ran down Ilara's spine. The implications were staggering. If Zixanar's people could regain their empathic abilities, it could revolutionize interspecies relations throughout the galaxy. But at what cost? What does this mean for our work together? Ilara asked, forcing herself to focus on the immediate concerns. Can you continue as my liaison? Zixanar's colors swirled, a mix of determination and uncertainty. I believe I can. With practice, I may learn to control these newfound sensations. But I must warn you, Ambassador, this connection between us, it is unlike anything my people have experienced in eons. The consequences are impossible to predict. Ilara squared her shoulders, meeting Zixanar's multifaceted gaze. Then we'll face those consequences together, liaison. The alliance between our peoples is too important to abandon over a quirk of biology. As if in response to her words, a tendril of glowing energy extended from Zixanar, gently brushing against Ilara's hand. The touch sent a jolt of electricity through her, a cascade of foreign emotions and sensations flooding her mind. In that moment, Ilara knew that everything had changed. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but it also held the promise of something extraordinary. As human and alien stood there, connected by an impossible bond, the future of galactic diplomacy hung in the balance. Little did they know that this unexpected connection would soon be put to the ultimate test, as forces beyond their control conspired to tear apart the fragile peace between their worlds. Quantum entanglement of souls. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of diplomatic meetings, cultural exchanges, and barely contained chaos. Ilara found herself constantly on edge, hyper-aware of Zixnar's presence and the strange connection that hummed between them. The alien's newfound empathic abilities are both a blessing and a curse, offering unprecedented insight into the complex web of interstellar politics while simultaneously threatening to upend centuries of diplomatic protocol. One particularly tense morning, Ilara stood before the Galactic Confederation's High Council, her heart pounding as she prepared to present Earth's proposal for joining the interstellar community. Zixnar stood silently at her side, its iridescent skin rippling with barely contained energy. "Esteemed members of the Council," Ilara began, her voice steady despite her nerves. "Humanity comes before you not as conquerors or supplicants, but as partners in the grand tapestry of galactic civilization." As she spoke, Ilara felt a gentle pressure at the edge of her consciousness, Zixnar lending silent support and guidance through their empathic link. With the alien's help, she navigated the treacherous waters of interspecies etiquette, avoiding potential faux pas and striking just the right tone to appeal to the diverse assembly. Suddenly, a commotion erupted in the back of the chamber. A group of protesters burst in, their faces contorted with rage. "Humans out," they chanted, brandishing signs covered in alien script. "Earth is a plague upon the stars." Panic rippled through the room. Several council members rose from their seats, security drones buzzing to life. Ilara felt her carefully prepared speech crumbling around her. This was a disaster. But then something extraordinary happened. Zixnar stepped forward, its body glowing with an intensity that made Ilara's eyes water. The alien raised its arms, and a wave of pure empathic energy washed over the chamber. In an instant, the chaos stilled. Protesters and council members alike stood frozen, their eyes wide with wonder. Through their link, Ilara could sense what Zixnar was doing. The alien was broadcasting a potent mixture of emotions, understanding, compassion, and hope, directly into the minds of everyone present. It was a breathtaking display of the power that had lain dormant in Zixnar's species for so long. As the wave of emotion receded, the protesters lowered their signs, looking dazed and confused. The council members settled back into their seats, a new light of interest in their eyes. Seizing the moment, Ilara stepped forward once more. "What you've just experienced," she said, her voice ringing with newfound confidence, "is the true potential of humanity's partnership with the Confederation. Together, we can bridge the gaps between species, foster genuine understanding, and usher in a new era of galactic harmony." The rest of the presentation went off without a hitch. As they left the council chamber, Ilara could hardly believe what had transpired. She turned to Zixnar, a mixture of awe and concern on her face. "That was incredible," she whispered. "But how did you do it? I thought you were still learning to control your abilities." Zixnar's skin shimmered with a mix of pride and uncertainty. "I am not entirely sure, Ambassador. In that moment of crisis, I felt your determination, your unwavering belief in the potential of our alliance. It amplified my own abilities beyond anything I thought possible." Ilara frowned, a new worry gnawing at her. "Could this connection between us be affecting you more than we realized? We should consult with Dr. Nakamura again." Before Zixnar could respond, Ilara's comm unit chimed with an urgent message. Her face paled as she read it. "We have a problem," she said grimly. "There's been an attack on one of Earth's orbital stations. Early reports suggest it was carried out by a radical anti-human group." Zixnar's colors darkened with concern. "This is most troubling. Such an act could destabilize the entire negotiation process." Ilara nodded, her mind racing. "We need to get back to Earth immediately. If we can't contain this situation, everything we've worked for could fall apart." As they hurried towards their shuttle, neither Ilara nor Zixnar noticed the shadowy figure watching them from a nearby alcove. The observer's eyes narrowed, a cruel smile playing across its alien features. Everything was proceeding according to plan. The journey back to Earth was tense, filled with frantic communications and desperate strategizing. Ilara found herself increasingly relying on her empathic link with Zixnar, using the aliens' insights to navigate the complex political landscape that was rapidly shifting around them. As they approached Earth's orbit, the true scale of the attack became clear. The orbital station was a twisted wreck of metal and crystalline structures, debris scattered across a wide swath of space. Rescue ships darted about like fireflies, searching for survivors. By the cosmos, Zixnar breathed, its voice heavy with sorrow. Such senseless destruction. Ilara felt a wave of grief and anger wash over her, both her own emotions and those of her alien companion. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to focus. We need to find out who's responsible and bring them to justice, not just for Earth's sake, but for the stability of the entire Confederation. As their shuttle docked at the emergency command center, Ilara was met by a grim-faced Admiral Zhang. "Ambassador Chen," he said, his voice tight with strain. "We've received a transmission from the attackers. They're calling themselves the Purity Front, a coalition of species who believe humanity's admission to the Confederation will lead to the downfall of galactic civilization." Ilara's heart sank. This was worse than she had imagined. What are their demands? The Admiral's expression darkened further. They want Earth to withdraw its application for Confederation membership immediately. If we don't comply within 48 hours, they threaten to launch attacks on major cities across the planet. Zixnar stepped forward, its skin pulsing with a mix of determination and barely contained rage. "This cannot be allowed to stand. The Purity Front's actions go against everything the Confederation represents." Ilara nodded, a plan already forming in her mind. "We need to address the Confederation Assembly. If we can convince them to present a united front against these terrorists, we might be able to isolate the Purity Front and cut off their support." As they rushed to prepare for the emergency assembly session, Ilara felt a strange tingling sensation at the base of her skull. She glanced at Zixnar, only to find the alien staring at her with an intensity that made her breath catch. "Ambassador," Zixnar said, its voice low and urgent, "I believe I may have a solution, but it will require us to take our empathic link to a level that has never been attempted between our species." Ilara's eyes widened. "What are you suggesting?" Zixnar's form seemed to shimmer, becoming almost translucent. "A true melding of minds. If we can combine your diplomatic skills and knowledge of humanity with my empathic abilities and understanding of the Confederation, we might be able to sway the Assembly in a way that neither of us could alone." The implications were staggering. Such a deep mental connection could forever alter both of them in ways they couldn't begin to predict. But as Ilara looked at the devastation surrounding them, she knew they had to try. "All right," she said, squaring her shoulders. "Let's do it." As Zixnar reached out, tendrils of glowing energy extending towards her, Ilara steeled herself for whatever might come. In that moment, as human and alien minds began to intertwine, neither of them realized that they were about to unlock a power that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The assembly chamber fell silent as Ilara and Zixnar took the podium, their forms surrounded by a soft, pulsating glow. As one, I began to speak, their voices blending into a harmony that sent shivers through the gathered representatives. "Esteemed members of the Confederation," they intoned, "we stand before you not as separate entities, but as living proof of the potential that lies in unity. The attack on Earth is not just an assault on humanity, but on the very principles that bind our galactic community together." As they spoke, waves of emotion rolled through the chamber, determination, hope, and a fierce resolve to stand against injustice. The assembled aliens found themselves hanging on every word, swept up in the unprecedented display of interspecies cooperation. Little did anyone realize that this moment would mark the beginning of a transformation that would reshape the very nature of galactic society and unleash forces beyond anyone's control. Cosmic convergence. The aftermath of Ilara and Zixnar's unprecedented mind meld reverberated through the galaxy like ripples in a cosmic pond. Their impassioned speech to the Confederation Assembly had not only secured a united front against the Purity Front, but had also ignited a fervor for interspecies cooperation unlike anything seen before. As they stood in the observatory of the newly reconstructed Earth Orbital Station, Ilara felt a profound sense of both awe and trepidation. The stars seemed different now, alive with possibilities and hidden dangers. "I can feel them," Zixnar whispered, its form shimmering with barely contained energy. "Billions of minds across the cosmos, all connected in ways we never imagined." Ilara nodded, still adjusting to the expanded awareness that their melding had unlocked. "It's beautiful and terrifying. We've opened a door, Zixnar. I'm not sure we can close it." Before the alien could respond, a holographic alert materialized before them. Admiral Zheng's grim face flickered into view. "Ambassador Liaison," he said, his voice tight with urgency. "We've detected an anomaly in the Arcturus sector. Some kind of spatial distortion. It's unlike anything we've ever seen." Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. Through their link, she sensed Zixnar's sudden alarm. "Show us," the alien demanded. The hologram shifted, revealing a swirling vortex of energy that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Tendrils of otherworldly light reached out from its center, grasping at the surrounding space like hungry tentacles. By the cosmic core, Zixnar breathed, its colors shifting to a deep, foreboding purple. "It's a nexus tear." Ilara frowned, the term unfamiliar yet resonating with a strange significance in her mind. "A what?" "A rupture in the fabric of spacetime," Zixnar explained, its voice filled with a mixture of wonder and dread. "According to ancient legends of my people, such phenomena heralded the arrival of beings from beyond our universe, entities of unimaginable power and incomprehensible motives." Admiral Zhang's hologram flickered with static. "Whatever it is, it's growing. And we're picking up some kind of signal emanating from its center. It's a distress call." Ilara and Zixnar exchanged a look, a silent understanding passing between them. "We need to investigate," Ilara said, her voice firm with resolve. "If there are beings trapped in that nexus tear, we have a duty to help them." Zhang's eyebrows shot up. "Ambassador, with all due respect, we have no idea what we're dealing with here. This could be a trap or worse." "I understand the risks, Admiral," Ilara replied, feeling Zixnar's unwavering support through their link. "But this could also be a pivotal moment for the Confederation. A chance to prove that our alliance extends beyond political boundaries, reaching into the very fabric of the cosmos itself." After a moment's hesitation, Zhang nodded. "Very well. I'll assemble a task force. But Ambassador, be careful. We can't afford to lose you." As the hologram winked out, Ilara turned to Zixnar. The alien's form was pulsing with an intensity she had never seen before. "You sense it too, don't you?" she asked softly. Zixnar's multifaceted eyes met hers, swirling with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Yes. Whatever lies beyond that tear, it will change everything." Within hours, Ilara found herself aboard the UES Horizon, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. As they approached the Nexus tier, the ship's sensors went haywire, screens flickering with impossible readings and indecipherable data. With picking up massive energy fluctuations, the science officer reported, her voice tight with tension. And something else. Some kind of psychic resonance. Ilara felt it too. A pressure building at the base of her skull, foreign thoughts and emotions brushing against the edges of her consciousness. She glanced at Zixnar, seeing her own discomfort mirrored in the alien's rippling form. "It's trying to communicate," Zixnar said, its voice strained. "But the message, it's too alien, too vast for our minds to comprehend." Suddenly, the ship lurched, caught in the gravitational pull of the Nexus tier. Alarms blared as the horizon was dragged inexorably toward the swirling vortex. "All hands, brace for impact," the captain's voice boomed over the intercom. Ilara grabbed onto a nearby console, her eyes locked on the mesmerizing dance of energies before them. As the ship breached the event horizon of the tear, reality itself seemed to fracture. For a moment that stretched into eternity, Ilara felt her very essence unravel, her consciousness expanding to encompass vistas of existence she had never imagined. She saw the birth and death of universes, the intricate dance of quantum particles, the grand tapestry of space-time itself. And then, just as suddenly, it was over. The horizon emerged on the other side of the tear, systems sputtering back to life as reality reasserted itself. But it wasn't their reality. The viewport revealed a sky ablaze with colors that shouldn't exist, illuminating a landscape that defied comprehension. Floating islands of crystalline structures drifted through an atmosphere thick with luminescent particles. In the distance, colossal beings of pure energy moved with ponderous grace, their forms shifting and reshaping with each passing moment. Where are we?" someone whispered, voice filled with awe and terror. Before anyone could respond, a new presence made itself known. It didn't speak so much as impress itself directly upon their minds, a consciousness so vast and alien that Ilara felt her sanity straining at the edges. "Where's Siom, she Ildrian of the lower realms? We HAVAAWAT your arrival." Ilara struggled to form coherent thoughts, overwhelmed by the entity's sheer presence. "Who? What are you?" "We are the architects, the shapers of ILITs, and you are the HFY, to preventing the co-legacy of OLXI's tense." As the weight of those words settled over the stunned crew, Ilara realized that their adventure into the unknown had only just begun. The fate of not just their universe, but all of reality itself, now rested in their hands. With trembling fingers, she reached out to Zixnar, drawing strength from their connection. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, human and alien, united in a bond that transcended the boundaries of space, time, and consciousness itself. As the architect's presence receded, leaving the crew of the horizon reeling, Ilara felt a sudden surge of determination. This was why humanity had reached for the stars. This was the destiny they had been preparing for, unknowingly, since they first looked up at the night sky and dreamed. "All right," she said, her voice steady despite the enormity of the situation. "Let's find out what we need to do to save the multiverse." Quantum entanglement of destinies. The crystalline landscape of the architect's realm shimmered with otherworldly energy as Ilara, Zixnar, and a small team from the horizon cautiously made their way across its ever-shifting surface. Each step sent ripples of iridescent light pulsing through the ground, as if the very fabric of this reality responded to their presence. "It's like walking on the surface of a living dream," breathed Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the team's xenophysicist, her eyes wide with wonder. Ilara nodded, feeling the constant hum of alien consciousness pressing against her mind. "Stay alert, everyone. We don't know what." Her words were cut short as the air before them shimmered, coalescing into a being of pure light and geometric patterns. Its form constantly shifted, fractal patterns spiraling into infinity. "I am ZEPHY, EMISSARI of the architects," the entity impressed directly into their minds. "You HAVQESTIONS. I HANSWERS." Ilara stepped forward, drawing on her diplomatic training to steady her nerves. "We were told that we're the key to preventing the collapse of all existence. What did the architects mean by that?" Zephy's form pulsed, sending waves of color rippling through the air. "The Nimuel is dying. NTUOPYNCREACs, realities COLLIT, and CHESHATTR. The Carsonex Symphony falls into DISCRT images flooded their minds. Universes collapsing, entire galaxies winking out of existence, the very laws of physics unraveling at the seams. But you, Zephyr continued, its attention focusing on Ilara and Zixnar. Your bondi orid kari zentis, a few zion of toan siaus and eses, nevea bfocen, a bridge between arielitais, the CD of ANU cosmic order. Zixnar's form shimmered with a mix of awe and trepidation. Are you saying that our empathic link is somehow the solution to this multiversal crisis? Potential, Zephyr clarified. Unrealized potential. Your mind is AAV touchichid, the antium foam of creation. With proper cultivation, you could be any TEFOCL point of ANU reality, a harmonious blend of all that exists. The implications were staggering. Ilara felt her head spin, the weight of entire universes suddenly resting on her shoulders. But how? We're just two beings. How can we possibly reshape the fabric of existence? Zephyr's form expanded, enveloping them in a cocoon of swirling light. Come, see. In an instant, they were transported to what could only be described as the control room of creation. Multidimensional displays surrounded them, each one showing a different universe, a different timeline, a different possibility. The RCITC tiers have long SOUHT away to harmonize the ACAOs of infinity RILITIs, Zephyr explained. Your unity he bond. The men are jangi of human ingenuity and alien EMPATY. Provides the template for ANEU cosmics ALGOYTM. Dr. Tanaka gasped, her scientific mind racing to keep up. You're talking about rewriting the fundamental laws of reality. Precisely. Ilara shook her head, overwhelmed. But the responsibility, the power, it's too much. We can't possibly. She was interrupted by a violent tremor that shook the very foundations of reality. Cracks appeared in the air around them, jagged lines of nothingness threatening to tear apart the fabric of existence. The QOLAPSA accelerates, Zephyr's mental voice was tinged with urgency. You must decide. Embrace your DSTNY as coasanic RCTXTS, or WATC8 as AL of creation for UMBLEs into oblivion. Ilara turned to Zixnar, seeing her own fear and uncertainty reflected in the alien's swirling eyes. Through their bond, she felt a surge of determination, of hope against impossible odds. We'll do it, they said in unison, their voices blending into a harmony that seemed to resonate with the very strings of the universe. Zephyr's form pulsed with approval. Then let the great work begin. What followed was a crash course in cosmic engineering unlike anything ever attempted in the history of any universe. Ilara and Zixnar, guided by the architects and assisted by the stunned but eager crew of the Horizon, began the monumental task of rewriting reality itself. They learned to manipulate quantum probabilities to weave the threads of different timelines into a tapestry of infinite possibility. Their minds expanded beyond the confines of three-dimensional space, grasping concepts that would drive lesser beings to madness. But the process was not without its challenges. As they reshaped the cosmos, ripples of change propagated throughout every universe, every timeline. Paradoxes erupted, threatening to unravel their work before it could be completed. We're losing coherence in sectors 7 through 13, Dr. Tanaka shouted, her hands flying over multidimensional controls. The temporal feedback is causing cascading failures across the probability matrix. Ilara gritted her teeth, her consciousness stretched to its breaking point as she struggled to hold together the fraying edges of reality. Zixnar, we need to stabilize the quantum flux. Focus on harmonizing the conflicting timelines. Through their bond, she felt the alien's mind mesh with hers, their combined will exerting itself on the very fabric of existence. Slowly, painstakingly, they brought order to the chaos, weaving discordant realities into a grand, unified whole. As they worked, something extraordinary began to happen. The bond between Ilara and Zixnar deepened, transcending the boundaries of individual consciousness. They became something more, a hybrid entity that existed simultaneously across multiple planes of reality. Behold, Zephyr's voice echoed through the multidimensional space, the beauty of the cosmic duality. In that moment of transcendence, Ilara/Zixnar saw the true nature of existence, an infinite fractal of interconnected realities, each one a reflection of limitless possibility. And at the center of it all, they saw themselves, the linchpin holding together the grand tapestry of creation. With a final, monumental effort, they brought their great work to its culmination. Reality shuddered, flexed, and then snapped into a new configuration. The cracks in the cosmos sealed themselves, the threat of oblivion receding like a bad dream. As the dust of creation settled, Ilara and Zixnar found themselves back on the crystalline surface where their journey had begun. But everything had changed. The air thrummed with new possibilities, the very atoms around them singing with harmonious energy. Did we do it? Dr. Tanaka asked, her voice filled with wonder and disbelief. Before anyone could answer, a chorus of mental voices washed over them, the architects speaking as one. UHAVXSUCCEDED beyond our wild expectations. The multi VRC is saved, reborn, and TRANSTFORMET. UAKV USHERED in a NUAG of cosmic harmony. Ilara looked at Zixnar, seeing her own mix of exhaustion, exhilaration, and lingering transcendence mirrored in the alien's form. What happens now? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Now, the architects replied, you return to your UNIVRSA as guardians of the NU cosmic order. Your bondi will CRV as a BACRN, guiding others towards a future of limited ESS potential and UNIT. As the implications of their new roles sank in, Ilara felt a swell of emotions, fear, excitement, and a profound sense of purpose. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that together with Zixnar, they were ready to face them. The crew of the Horizon gathered around them, eyes shining with a mix of awe and newfound determination. They had witnessed the rebirth of reality itself, and in doing so had been transformed. As they prepared to return to their own universe, familiar yet irrevocably changed, Ilara realized that this was only the beginning. The true adventure, the exploration of this new harmonious multiverse, was just getting started. With a shared thought, Ilara and Zixnar opened a portal back to their own reality. As they stepped through, hand in hand, they carried with them the knowledge that the boundaries between species, between universes, and between possibilities had been forever blurred. The cosmos would never be the same, and neither would they. Harmonic convergence. The return to Earth was nothing short of miraculous. As the UES horizon pierced the veil between realities, emerging into the familiar expanse of the Milky Way, the crew was struck by how both familiar and alien their home galaxy now appeared. Look, exclaimed Lieutenant Ravi Patel, his eyes wide with wonder. The stars, they're singing. Indeed, the very fabric of space seemed to hum with a cosmic melody, visible waves of harmonic energy rippling across the viewport. Ilara and Zixnar, still adjusting to their new state of being, felt the song resonate within their joined consciousness. It's the new cosmic order, Ilara breathed, her voice a blend of human wonder and alien insight. The universes are in harmony now, vibrating at compatible frequencies. As they approached Earth, it became clear that the changes wrought by their cosmic re-engineering extended far beyond the celestial. The planet itself glowed with a soft, pulsating aura, and the orbiting stations and satellites seemed to move in perfect synchronicity, as if engaged in an elaborate dance. Admiral Zhang's hologram flickered to life, his usually stoic face etched with a mix of awe and confusion. Ambassador Chen, Liaison Zixnar, What in the name of all that's holy happened out there? Our sensors are going haywire, and we're picking up signals from, well, we're not even sure where they're coming from. Ilara smiled, feeling Zixnar's amusement ripple through their bond. It's a long story, Admiral. One that involves the rebirth of the entire multiverse. As the Horizon docked at the orbital station, Ilara and Zixnar were met by a delegation of wide-eyed officials from both Earth and the Galactic Confederation. The air crackled with unseen energy, and more than one alien representative swayed on their feet, overwhelmed by the new sensory input. Dr. Aiden Nakamura pushed his way to the front, his scientific curiosity overriding protocol. Ilara, the readings we're getting, it's unprecedented. The background radiation of the universe has shifted, quantum entanglement is occurring on a macroscopic scale, and we're detecting neural patterns that span light years. What did you do? Ilara and Zixnar exchanged a glance, their linked minds considering how best to explain the inexplicable. We rebooted reality, they said in unison, their voices harmonizing in a way that sent shivers through the assembled crowd. Over the next few hours, they recounted their incredible journey, the Nexus Tier, the realm of the architects, and the monumental task of reshaping the cosmic order. As they spoke, their audience's expressions ranged from disbelief to religious awe. So you're saying, a Juraxian representative clicked, its mandibles twitching nervously, that you two are now the guardians of this new, harmonic multiverse? In a sense, Zixnar replied, its form shimmering with barely contained energy. But we're more like conductors of a cosmic orchestra. The true power lies in the interconnectedness of all things. As if to demonstrate, Ilara reached out with her mind, gently plucking at the strings of reality. The air shimmered, and suddenly the conference room was filled with holographic displays of distant worlds, alternate timelines, and dimensions beyond normal comprehension. By the cosmic core, breathed Ambassador Lyrax of the Andromeda Alliance, her 7 eyes blinking rapidly. The implications for interstellar relations, for the very nature of existence itself, are staggering, Ilara finished, gently closing the dimensional windows. Which is why we've called this emergency session. The universe, all universes, are entering a new phase of existence. We need to prepare. What followed was perhaps the most extraordinary diplomatic summit in the history of any species. Representatives from every corner of the galaxy, and even a few from beyond, gathered to discuss the dawning of this new cosmic age. Ilara and Zixnar, serving as mediators and guides, helped the assembled delegates grasp the new fundamentals of reality. They explained how the harmonized universes now allowed for easier travel between dimensions, how thoughts and emotions could shape the very fabric of space-time, and how the boundaries between species were becoming increasingly fluid. In essence, Zixnar explained, its form rippling with excitement, we are entering an era of unprecedented unity and potential. The barriers that once divided us, physical, mental, and spiritual, are dissolving. But surely there are risks, argued a cautious Terran senator. If reality is now so malleable, couldn't this power be abused? What's to stop someone from reshaping things to their own benefit? Ilara nodded, acknowledging the valid concern. The cosmic harmony we've established has safeguards built into its very nature. Any attempt to drastically alter reality for selfish purposes would create dissonance, alerting us and other sensitive beings across the multiverse. Additionally, added Zixnar, this new state of existence naturally fosters empathy and interconnectedness. The more one tries to separate oneself, to exert dominance over others, the more out of tune with the cosmic symphony they become. As the implications sank in, a palpable sense of excitement began to build in the chamber. Species that had been at odds for millennia found themselves drawn into collaborative discussions. Ideas for joint scientific endeavors, cultural exchanges, and even the formation of a new multidimensional governing body were proposed and debated with enthusiasm. Amidst the fervor, Dr. Nakamura approached Ilara and Zixnar, his eyes shining with a mixture of scientific curiosity and something akin to reverence. "I've been analyzing the data from your transformation," he said, his voice hushed. "The level of quantum entanglement between your consciousness, it's like nothing we've ever seen. You're not just two beings anymore. You've something entirely new." Ilara felt a wave of affection, both hers and Zixnar's, wash over her. "We're still ourselves, Aiden," she said softly. "Just more. We see now how artificial the boundaries between individuals, between species, really are." "It's beautiful," Zixnar added, a tendril of its ethereal form gently brushing against Ilara's hand, "and a little terrifying, but mostly beautiful." As the summit continued, stretching into days, filled with passionate debate and world-shaking revelations, Ilara and Zixnar found moments of quiet reflection. They stood together in the orbital station's observation dome, gazing out at the shimmering tapestry of stars, each one now a potential gateway to new realities, new adventures. "Do you think we did the right thing?" Ilara asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Changing everything." Zixnar's form pulsed with warmth and reassurance. "We did what was necessary. The multiverse was dying. Now it has a chance to truly live, to evolve in ways we can scarcely imagine." Ilara nodded, feeling the truth of it resonate through their bond. "I suppose our real work is just beginning, guiding this new cosmic order, helping others understand and adapt." "Indeed," Zixnar agreed. "But we won't be alone. Look." They turned their gaze back to the summit chamber, where holographic displays showed similar gatherings taking place across the galaxy, across dimensions. Everywhere, beings of all kinds were coming together, drawn by the new cosmic harmony, eager to explore the limitless potential of their reborn reality. "The age of isolation is over," Ilara mused, a smile playing at her lips. "The true golden age of the multiverse is about to begin." As if in response, a wave of shimmering energy washed through the station, through the planet below, through the very fabric of space-time itself. It was a cosmic affirmation, a promise of wonders yet to come. Ilara and Zixnar, the cosmic dyad, stood at the threshold of this brave new multiverse. Hand in hand, human and alien, they'd prepared to take their first steps into a future limited only by the bounds of imagination itself. The adventure, they knew, was only just beginning.